It's 2022 and you're a grown-ass man wearing jorts. Who's proud of me? Mr. McMahon. Yeah, he's proud.
And my time is now!
Boo! You stink!
In just 1 week's time, Theory has become the most talked about man in professional wrestling. Of course, unless we're talking about cheating ass Vince McMahon. The youngest United States champion, the youngest WWE United States champion somehow became the youngest superstar to ever win the Money in the Bank contract last week in a shocking turn of events in the City of Sin. We are fully experiencing Theory getting everything he needs to succeed, which has many fans outraged and up in arms, feeling that he doesn't deserve his push, or maybe that winning the Money in the Bank contract came a little bit too soon. And it seems like everywhere you turn, Theory is being compared to or projected to be the next John Cena. The social media teases, the rumor reports, the segment on Cena's 20th anniversary show. Honestly, I fell back from making this video a couple of months ago, but now the topic is really inescapable. Plus, you have the recent Pllana Productions video, which just really lit a fire under my ass to get this video done. It's about time that somebody cut the BS and gave you the cold hard truth. Theory is not the next John Cena.
I got into wrestling was because of John Cena.
Is recreating John Cena with Austin Theory.
Stop it. Get some help.
I refuse to let these asinine assertions to go unchecked. Like, when did this even start? Am I the only one that just does not see it? Is it because they were bodybuilders? There was a whole generation of bodybuilders turned wrestlers. You've never seen anybody compare John Cena to Sting or the Ultimate Warrior. Is it because they just love him backstage? Is it because he really works hard? Is it because he loved John Cena growing up? Shit, I did too. Look at this shirt. I still love him.
To this day! To this day! To this day!
Do you know how many
Wrestlers
grew up being fans of Hogan, Macho Man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you don't see a whole bunch of comparisons just because somebody's a fan of that person? If I'm missing something, then just say that. But I don't know that they look alike to y'all. Is this just because people just started riding the bandwagon once we heard that Vince saw or sees a young Cena in Theory? But let me just refresh everybody's memory here. Cena was never supposed to be the guy. He wasn't the hand-picked heir apparent after Rock and Austin left. Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, and Batista were all seen as the next big things and potential faces of the company before Lesnar left, Orton had a failed babyface run, and Cena just got over with the fans. Even the man himself stated that if it wasn't for Stephanie hearing him freestyle on that bus, he probably would have gotten cut early from the WWE. Does that sound like Vince McMahon's hand-picked protege? It doesn't. It took years of effort and proving himself to the fans, his peers, and management before Cena would ultimately become the legend that we know him as today. How can you see Theory being the next Cena when you didn't even see Cena being the next top guy, Vince? He had to earn it. What has Theory even done or accomplished to this point to warrant that big of a push or comparison? He's not even over yet. Sure, this week has helped to get everybody talking about him, and he'll never get there if he doesn't get the opportunities. However, you don't want to screw the pooch. It's obvious that they see something in him, and I get that. And even though I've always been a proud member of the Chain Gang in the C Nation, I can admit that Theory is way better right now in the ring than Cena was at his age. And if he's only 24, imagine how much he's going to improve for the years to come. That's probably one of the main reasons why I don't really get the Theory and Cena comparisons, because Cena didn't really have these many things going for him at the age that Theory is right now. In fact, I honestly think we should stop comparing the current talent with talent of the past, because it does them no favors. It only sets them up for failure. But if you're gonna compare him to anybody, Cena ain't the right guy. Randy Orton is. Prodigies. They make everything look so effortless and smooth in the ring. Getting their first big push as a cocky heel. Taken under the wing by the greatest villains that this business has ever seen. Given every opportunity to succeed. Having major accomplishments at a young age. Damn. Even having the most beautiful drop kick. Also, to reinforce the point, may I add that it didn't take for them to get over with the fans to catch management's eyes. And oh yeah, if they mess this up, you can add a failed first world title run to their list of similarities. I'm not saying don't push the kid, but is he really your top babyface leading into the future? Not like a number 2 babyface or a top heel? I'm feeling more Randy than Cena here when I look at him, but we all know how stubborn WWE can be. Just look at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was picked by management early on to be the Golden Goose before he was ready too. Yeah, technically he was over with the Shield first, but we went through years of fan backlash, terrible booking, and questionable decisions before we got to the needle moving, anti-missionary, steady operating in God mode tribal chief that we have today. Shoot, for all we know, maybe that's why they started him off as a heel, because they knew whoever they would push as the next guy would get booed first. My question is Theory really going to be the only guy that they give this sort of push to? In a day and age where you have the brand of the WWE being the top billing front and center, and the wrestlers and the talent are second, do we really need just one guy to be the face of everything? You have a lot of talented young guys who can carry the WWE into the future for the next 10, 15 years. You have Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, Gable Stevenson, all under 30 with amazing potential. And your more established names who will still be able to carry the company for the next 10 years. Big E whenever he returns. Montez Ford, who is due for a singles push within the next 1 to 2 years. Riddle, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Cody freaking Rhodes, just to name a few. And let's not forget about MJF, yes, because you know that when he signs and walks into Titan Towers, he's going to turn the wrestling world upside down on its head. But let's give them their props. I applaud them for trying to make new stars and building around young talent, because Lord knows they have relied way too much on part-timers, aging stars, and also celebrities to move the needle. There's nothing wrong with trying to make new stars, but they aren't built overnight. It takes hard work, charisma, and consistency from the performer. It takes getting over with the fans and having the people care about you. And WWE, it takes for you to not fuck them over with shitty booking. Plus, don't be so narrow-sighted on who you choose to be the guy. But hey, let's just see how far Theory can go. But that's going to be all from me today. Thank you so much for joining us here at EK Wrestling. My name is Brandon, but please don't be shy. Do all the YouTube stuff. Please like if you want to see more of this content. Subscribe if you want to stay tuned for what's coming next. And honestly, let's get a good conversation going. Let me know what you think about the Theory push. Is he the next Cena? Am I way off basis with my takes? You know, what do you think is going to come out of this Money in the Bank cash-in or anything like that? Anything you think, sound off on them comments below, and let's have some good, conversations about wrestling. But thank you guys. I love you. Take care, and have a great week.